Testing audio to the live stream. Testing audio to the live stream.
Hello. Okay. Sorry for the delay, little technical difficulties, but we're ready to go. So welcome and thank you all for attending our 4th Moraine Valley Athletics Hall of Fame ceremony, which also is coinciding with our special athletics 45th anniversary celebration. My name is Maura Visa. I'm the Moraine Valley Communications Specialist and Sports Information Coordinator, which is not a short title. When I realized that Moraine Valley Athletics was celebrating 45 years, I knew it needed to be recognized. We had never marked any other milestone for this department that has accomplished so much. It has come a long way from when the first athletic director, Doug Gerke, coached the first men's basketball team, occasionally mopping up rainwater from the leaky gym, which I'm glad we fixed that problem today. Doug considered Kay Schneegus, a Moraine Valley educator instructor, to be his co-athletic director, handling and coaching the women's sports. Cross country didn't exist then, sorry guys up there, and other sports have come and gone, such as football and men's volleyball, which Gloria Coughlin coached. But overall, the achievements have been quite vast. In these 45 years, we've had 29 NJCAA All-Americans, 38 region championships, 76 conference championships and counting, 54 teams compete at nationals, with our highest finish at 2nd place for men's basketball in 2013. A number of coaches and athletic staff also have been inducted in various halls of fame. Speaking of which, as I turn the page, the Moraine Valley Athletics Hall of Fame was created in 2018 to recognize our esteemed colleagues and students who passed through our doors and helped Moraine Valley earn recognition as an athletic. Not only did they make inroads in their respective athletic arenas, but they also moved on to great feats outside of Moraine Valley as well, accomplishing much in their personal and professional lives. After skipping a year and rescheduling whom unfortunately could not attend today, their guests and families, some of whom are hopefully watching our live stream. I also must thank the Hall of Fame committee, which in addition to myself includes Bill Finn, our athletic director, Jeff Davis, our athletic trainer, who I think is with the baseball team right now on the field, and Glenn Carpenter, our college photographer. And a big thanks to Tom Green, Mark Rupsch, and Jeff Reed from our media services department, who helped, of course, with all the technical aspects of our day and making our ceremony a success, and as well as the athletics designer, Myrick Thomas, who created all the media pieces for this event, and Matt Grotto, our videographer, who produced videos on each inductee. I also would like to thank and recognize members of our Moraine Valley executive leadership team for being here today, We have, of course, Dr. Norma Saleh-Barone, wherever she is. Oh, there she is up there. The Vice President of Student Development. We have Dr. Pam Haney, Vice President of Academic Affairs. And we have a few board members as well. And we have Dr. Sylvia Jenkins, our college president. And I would like to bring up Dr. Jenkins to say a few words, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mara. And it's nice thank you all for coming out today. Now the sun is out. If it had been out earlier, we could have all been outside on the fields to see some of the games being played. But I am really grateful that all of you are here, and for our young students who are all the way up in the bleachers, thank you all. Are you having fun up there? Okay, all right, good, good. Well, it's really a pleasure that we can do this again. It was scheduled to be earlier this year, but the pandemic made a lot of changes for us. And I said to Mara and to Bill, I said, why don't we do it in the spring when it's nice? It's all contributed to the many community members that support us every day, all day, for everything. Some of the coaches that are here, thank you. I see Delwyn, I see some of the other coaches. Thank you all very much. At Moraine Valley, we recognize extracurricular activities as important as in-classroom activities. We want to educate the whole student, and athletics is a big part of that. So under Dr. Norma's leadership, our athletics department continues to thrive. Our honorees, Mayor Kyle Hastings, thank you so much. The Hastings family is here. I got a note from Kim this morning. She said the Hastings assistant basketball coach. That I didn't know. He was your assistant basketball coach and then went on to coach Trinity Christian College. So Mayor Hastings, thank you always for continuing to be a supporter of the college, and congratulations to you on your induction into the Athletic Hall of Fame. Congratulations. And to Julie Wurster. Julie, I just met Julie today. I was here as a librarian in 1991-93, but unfortunately I didn't attend volleyball games, so this is my first time meeting Julie. But Julie, thank you for coming back, and congratulations to you and for all of the great things that you've done since you've left Moraine Valley. So we're really happy to have you join us. And Julie also has family members here. Will the Wurster family say yay? For those of you here, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I'm not sure what else am I supposed to do right now, Mara? That's all I'm supposed to do. Yay. Well, thank you all very much. Thank you.
You did a great job. So thank you, Dr. Jenkins. As always, we appreciate the support you and our vice presidents give and continue to give to our athletics program, which is quite successful and renowned around the state and the country. So after being hired as the men's head basketball coach in 1981 and leading a number of teams to great feats in national tournaments, Bill Finn became the athletics director in 1983, having been here almost the entire to athletics during that time and has extensive knowledge as to where this department has been and how it has evolved. After giving his take of the history of athletics for a little bit, he will present our honorees, all of them, even though two aren't here, but he will present all of them.
Thank you. Ad lib about the 45 years early days. That's what's written on my sheet. Ad lib about it. So I'm going to ad lib about that. You all know how good I am with that. But I will speak exactly on the script about our Hall of Fame members. I don't want to miss any of that. Well, what made Moraine fantastic, remember this is 1981 when I got on board. The old G building was really old and it was very G-like. It was just a rubber floor and the walls had like a straw. Kyle, you remember the straw things on the walls? It was really awful. Kyle and I, for our first game, we had no bleachers, so we set chairs up. We had the rows for the teams, and we put 10 feet back, we put chairs for the 50 fans that came. And then we had to put the chairs away and sweep the floor at the end of that. So that was the start of it all. The reason Moraine's come this far is, in my opinion, two things. Number one, the president of the college, and number two, the board of trustees. And it's come 41 years that I've been here, and I see the president of the college, and I see board of trustee members here today. So thank you, and I'll tell you exactly what I mean by that. Back in the day, we had just, hey, listen, we got a couple of sports. This is great. The kids in the neighborhood are playing and kicking it around. And then the new board members came on and said, hey, you know, so-and-so's got sports. Why don't we try a couple of sports? So we added a few sports, started with hockey, with the really early. And the board back there, I think one name I remember was Bert Odelson. And they said, great idea. Let's roll with it. Let's hire an AD. I happened to be the man standing there, and that's how it all started. So we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. We just knew we wanted to win, and we wanted to make Moraine Valley #1. And that's today, it's my still focus. So it's all the players. It makes my heart that I see 5, 6, 7 of my former players. Kyle, we don't see any of our kids here today. They're probably too old. But these guys are here, and I really appreciate all of them coming today and backing us up. But that shows you from the 80s till now, they hear about it, they're backing us, they're supporting us. And besides that, they're talking about us in the community. As many people as they see every day, their children are now playing. So it's been a great ride. It's been an amazing 45 years in the athletic program. We continue, hopefully, to have many more. So I appreciate that. All right, let's talk about, well, unfortunately, the first gentleman we're inducting, Bill Antonion, he passed after he was chosen. His wife is sick today. Tim McKinney's here. Tim, where are you at? Just raise Tim and by Coach Jones over there. So I'm speaking to Tim, probably the only person I'm going to speak to, but the rest of you can certainly hear Bill's amazing story. Bill Antonion was a basketball announcer. We're inducting a Hall of Fame an announcer from Moraine. That's what kind of contact he had with our players. It was an amazing gentleman. Men's and women's basketball teams, 95 to 2015. U.S. Army Korean War veteran, worked as an agency manager for State Farm. After retiring, his love of sports led him to the Star newspapers as a sport reporter. And a chance encounter I had with him along the way brought him to Moraine Valley as our microphone announcer. He knew every player, stayed up to date with every Moraine stat, every team, went to practices, knew the players' names. He just didn't skip a beat. Antonion. Thank you. Does he have his ring already? Okay, so Tim, I always have Tim come up, but his ring is already somewhere else. We're good. His ring is somewhere else. So Bill's family will get his award ring. Next up is Kyle Hastings. Kyle, can you stand for us? Let's hear it for Kyle. I'm going to read Kyle's thing, and then I'll ad-lib at the end. They want me to read exactly what we wrote here. Shortly after graduating from Moraine Valley in 1977, Kyle Hastings became our assistant coach for men's basketball in '83. I was the head coach at that point. He was my right-hand man and an intense recruiter, finding top talent from Chicago and bringing them back, Chicagoland, and bringing it back to the college to build a national-level team. He brought in top scorers, defenders, the most athletic players who would go on to win close to 30 games each year we coached them. He became a head basketball coach after his time here at Trinity Christian College, won over 200 games at Trinity Christian, also the athletic director at Proviso West, which still runs the most amazing holiday Christmas tournament with his amazing helper, Kim, over the years. So it was still is a great holiday tournament that Kyle was one of the founders of. Also the founder of the Midwestern Prep Academy, which develops and prepares students to play football at colleges and universities. He's been the mayor of Orland Hills for nearly 30 years. I'm going to tell you about Kyle. When we first started coaching together, he called me one day and said, hey, listen, gave me this address. I think it was 90, what's LaGrange Road, 96th, 94th. He could meet me at 160-something and 94th Avenue. So I drive down this road, and back in the day, there was like no stores and stuff in Orland. I get there, and there's like old, decrepit, one-story little thing that says Village of West Haven. He goes, I'm going to be the mayor of West Haven. And I'm going to turn this area into a rich, suburban, amazing community. And I'll be damned, you did it. All right, Mayor of Orland Hills, what a story. Remember that day? We're looking at each other like, what the hell are you doing? And sure enough, he made it happen. So without further ado, beyond the basketball he did for here, he's a Hall of Famer in many respects. So Kyle, really appreciate you. Kyle Hastings. Give me some, bro. Okay, we're going to move on to Mike Wojnarowski. All right, Mike is a former tennis player of mine. He's not able to make it here today. He is, what is his exact problem today? He is, okay, he is in the Archdiocese in Rockford, and they will not allow him out. He's close to becoming a Catholic priest. So he's got a good excuse. Doesn't need mine. He's got somebody higher than me. So Mike was an amazing student athlete for us at Moraine. Mike Wojnarowski from Richards High School, #1 single tennis player in 2007. I was coaching the men's tennis team at that point. He was our most valuable player, was the MVP at Richards, was an all-state tennis player at Richards, and wasn't intending on continuing playing tennis in college. Fortunately, when he got here, he met a good recruiter named Bill Finn, and lo and behold, he played for us. Okay, so he ends up being our #1 player in the state of Illinois. Went to the championship. We won the Region 4 Illinois Championship, went to the NJCAA Final Four in Texas. He was a Collegiate Player of the Year, Skyway Conference Player of the Year, ended up being a Division II All-American at Lewis University. He was a teaching professional before joining the churchhood. A fantastic gentleman, Mike Wojnarowski. Someone here to get Mike's ring? No? Okay. Last but not least, of course, Julie Wurster. Please stand, Jewel. All right. Julie was back in the old G building back in the day with G, her coach, Gloria Coughlin, was our student aide, of course, I remember that. Julie was a talented all-around athlete from Shepherd High School, where she was a 3-sport athlete. When she joined Moraine Valley's volleyball team, 91 to 93, she had walked into the gymnasium at the school possessing already a top work ethic from her close athletic family. Julie was a quiet leader who never sought attention, and even though she came to the team with a high volleyball IQ, she was always open and ready to be coached by our Athletics Hall of Fame volleyball coach, Gloria Coughlin. Gloria's here today. Gloria could not talk more highly about Julie when suggesting her as our inductee. Gloria knows talented players. Gloria had 3 daughters, played Division I. 3 daughters, all captains, if I'm not mistaken. One at Notre Dame, one at UW Milwaukee, and where was the third one? Marquette. How awesome is that? So she knows volleyball for sure, been in a lot of gyms over the years. Getting back to Julie, was a highly efficient setter, attacker, and blocker. A left-handed setter, Wurster often had the advantage and could pick apart the opponent's defense to score with the team's hitters or do it herself. She communicated well with her teammates and was an excellent server. Wurster later briefly coached with Gloria at the Celtic Force Volleyball Club. It's our pleasure to induct Julie Wurster in the 2022 Moraine Valley Athletics Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Okay, back to Maura.
Great work as always, Bill. Thank you again to everyone, and especially our inductees who were able to attend and celebrate all of our accomplishments. And in addition to our 45th anniversary, just some of the great people who've been through our doors. And we also have some of our Athletics Hall of Fame past inductees here as well. We have Al Budding, we have Gloria Coughlin, and Bob Lanigan. I was like, where is he? I can't see. Oh, there he is. There he is. So we have a few of our past. Hopefully, I'm not missing anybody in the audience, but we have a few. So obviously, this distinction is significant, and it brings people back, and it means something. So we appreciate everyone who's been here. We appreciate everyone who's been through our halls and who has contributed to our athletics department, because we've become such a great group because of it. And thanks to Bill's leadership as well. So thank you, Bill. And of course, all the people who help him in the athletics department, between Agnes and General and Jeff and Marianne, of course. So thank you all for all of your hard work. If you haven't yet explored the Hall of Fame itself, the monitor is right across the hall. Please do. It's a touch screen. It allows you to search through now 4 years of all of our inductees, and you can also learn about the history of Moraine Valley athletics and the championships, which I just added one for softball, so yay, softball. And for all of our 12 sports, they're all listed on there. So check it out, explore. We have our new inductees on there as well. And so please check that out. And this will conclude our ceremony. Inductees, we want to make sure that you go to the monitor so that we can take our pictures and do all that fun stuff. The reception is for our inductees and guests down the hall. We'll present the videos that we created with each one, and we'll present all 4 of them. So please, we'll make sure we'll all go down there. Well, we do the few words in the reception. Okay. If you want to say anything.
Yeah.
I said she didn't have to.
Okay. Please. Thank you.
Pass out.
Well, I have to tell you, this is a great honor to be inducted into an alma mater. Not only that I attended back in 1975 to 77. At that time, there weren't too many athletics here. It was club sports. But we knew it had a lot of potential, a lot of future. We knew that. You have to excuse my voice. I'm getting over a little cold. It's not COVID. I think I'm the most tested person, like Joe Biden in Orland Hills, I think, for COVID, but getting through it. But in its infancy, we could tell it had a lot of course, potential into the greatness that it had at this time. And it really starts with administration and the board. I don't care what college you go to or what high school. You have to thank Dr. Jenkins for your leadership, Bill Finn for being here for so many years, which I'll get into, and especially the Board of Trustees, the Chairman Brian O'Neill, Vice Chair Kimberly Hastings Cristelli, and Beth Kirkwood. I mean, you 3 that are here right now, give the guidance to, of course, and the recommendations to the president in order to make it number 1. Now, as a mayor, when I go around and talk with the various people across the state, I talk about the athletic program. You know, unfortunately, we don't talk about the English program or the library. We talk about athletics, and we talk about that. And I tell you, that's the number 1 priority that we have, and it's good to have you all endorse it and to make it where it is. Now, as I want to say thank you to Bill Finn, or I call him the coach. I've known Bill now since we were probably 14 years old, if not younger. We go back to playing baseball back when our fathers used to coach us. And it just so happens that with Bill and I, we went to the same high school, Richards High School. And Bill, I know it looks like he was a number of years before me, but he was 1 year before me and was a phenomenal basketball player. In fact, what a great shooter he is and was. In fact, if they had the 3-point line back in high school, he would still be playing basketball, probably for the Chicago Bulls. That's how good of a shooter he was. But as time progressed, I had the fortunate time to coach and teach at Bremen High School, where we had a phenomenal basketball team. We had 3 or 4 Division I players, and Bill and I got together. And Bill says, hey, I'd like to have you come on my staff and be an assistant coach and be a recruiter. And I says, Bill, let's do it. So we did it. Bill recruited the local area. I went into the city. We got the best shooters, the tallest kids. We were probably had some of the best talent in the state. And when we had the video filming of this, we could still name the kids. I would say of all the entire basketball team, that's how much it meant to us, of how good they were. And I tell you, if we had the knowledge 20, 30 years after we were coaching, we probably would have lost maybe one game. Because when we were in our mid-20s coaching, you know, you always think you know more when you're younger. When you get older, you learn a little bit more. Boy, I tell you, we had the best team that I could see in years. So, of course, we won 20, 30 games and just moved on. And, of course, I went on to coach at Trinity Christian and other things. But Bill is the person that is the train that's fueling the athletic program. Don't let anyone fool you. He's been here now 40-some years, and if it wasn't for Bill Finn, you would not have an athletic program to this level. And Bill, thank you for everything that you've done. I would also, too, like to recognize my family that's here, because to make it all possible, my family. My oldest son, Kyle, and his wife, Sarah, along with their children, Maggie, Kyle, and where's Bree at? Oh, there she is. Okay, there's Bree. And then also, too, my second eldest son is Mike. Mike with Maddie and little Mike. Glad you're here. And, of course, the vice chairman, Kimberly Christelli Hastings, and my newest addition, Evie, and my twins, Kate and Molly, with their sons, Donnie and Kevin. So I want to thank you for all the support. And Frank, of course. How could you forget Frank? But I remember when we were young in coaching, Kyle and Mike would come when they were very young. Yeah. And I know that they'd be running around and throwing the basketball all around. And I told them a little short story is when we were coaching, and I was coaching at Trinity Christian, there was a guy by the name of Homer Drew, was a coach at Bethel College out in Indiana. And there was a ball boy there. And it was Homer Drew's son was the ball boy. And he won the national championship at Baylor University last year. So he was a ball boy. So any of you youngsters out here, I tell you, always live the dream, because Homer Drew's son was the best. So other than that, I want to thank you all. I know it's very difficult to give a mayor a microphone, because he'll talk for 2 or 3 hours. But I analogize the sports with what I'm doing now as a mayor. Okay. There are some rules in basketball, but unfortunately there is no rules in politics. But you have to create, of course, ethics, and that's what we've done for all these years. One of the things I know is that the hardest thing in politics is that it has very sharp elbows, and there's no rules. That's one of the things. And I've always kept the integrity of politics in Orland Hills and throughout the area, is that when we run, we always do it the right way and do it with professionalism. I haven't lost in almost 3 decades, and that was instilled to us at Moraine Valley to win. When I met Al Davis years ago, he was the president of the Oakland Raiders. I'll never forget what he said: "Win, baby, win." And that's what we've always done. So, Bill, thank you. Dr. Jenkins, the board, thank you. God bless you, and God bless Orland Hills. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. And Julie does not want to talk, so we're not going to make her talk. So thank you again, everyone, for attending. Please enjoy the rest of our fun and 45th anniversary celebration here, and we'll again have our reception down the hall and pictures outside by our actual Hall of Fame, so you guys can check it out. So thank you guys again. And go Cyclones!